So what is up, guys and girls? I'm coming to you today from my garage, and what are we going to do today? So in today's video, we will be installing the SUPERNOVA TL3 Pro. So huge shout out to the boys over at Powerful Lithium for hooking me up with this SUPERNOVA. The SUPERNOVA is an extremely bright tail light and an even brighter brake light. And not only is it bright, but once the brake light is activated, it gives you a super bright flashing pattern. It is perfect at getting the attention of whoever it is that's riding behind you. So what is in the box? Okay, well this one was opened before. In the box you will find the SUPERNOVA, and in my case, the team over at Powerful Lithium hooked me up with this bracket to make my installation even easier. Inside this bag you'll find some type of a connector, not sure if I'm going to use that, two lock washers to help fasten this thing to the bike, installation guide. So what tools are we going to need? You're going to need some type of a strip or a wire cutter. In my case, I like to use a soldering iron when I make any wired connection. A variable temperature soldering station is a plus, and you're going to want some heat shrink to insulate that connection. And you cannot forget, we will need a 10mm socket, an extension, preferably 1/4 inch drive, but if you have 3/8, that'll work also. Alright, so without any further ado, let's get into this one. Alright, so the SUPERNOVA will be installed in my Onyx RCR. It's going to be replacing this existing taillight / brake light. As far as these turn signals, I got some replacements, so these will be coming off today, and those I'll install at a later date. The 10mm socket I will use to remove the seat. There are 4 10mm nuts holding the seat in place. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so once those 4 10mm bolts are removed, the seat just pops right up. Okay, so you're also going to need an 8mm socket. We're going to use that to take off the existing taillight / brake light. Oh my god, check this out. When I first started my e-bike journey, I used to mount the camera underneath here to get a different perspective when I was riding. So that's been there for quite some time. Haven't taken it out. Probably going to take that out now. Alright, that's removed. Now it's time to take off the taillight / brake light. This color I don't like. It's a sign of rust. I did say I was removing my turn signals. I don't have the replacements, but I am taking these out now. This is something that I installed way back in the day when I first got the Onyx. If you guys want to install aftermarket turn signals on your Onyx RCR, check out the description below. I'll include the turn signal installation video that I put together. After those 10mm bolts are removed, I can take off my turn signals. A good amount of dirt has built up inside there, so I'm going to throw on some gloves just to keep my hands from getting dirty. You just want to make sure that your bike is off before you start messing with any of the wires. Either turn it off or disconnect your battery for that matter. Now I'm going to use a razor blade just to open up the insulation and expose the wires. Alright, so in here you're going to find 3 colored wires, a black, a red, and a yellow. If you guys have access to a multimeter, now is the time that you're going to want to whip that out. So black most likely is going to be our ground. The red is either going to be brake light or tail light. Okay, this is a multimeter. What you want to do is you want to turn it on to voltage, DC voltage. One of the prongs will press up against what I believe is the ground, and then we're going to try to determine if this is the tail light, or if this is the tail light, or if this is the brake light, or if this is the brake light. All you're going to do is press that prong against the exposed wire. Be mindful not to cross the wires. You do not want to short anything out. I am not sure if this circuit is protected by a fuse inside here, or if you'll just burn up a component within the controller, because I believe it's the controller that puts out the power for all of these. Alright, so I believe this is ground, and the yellow wire is giving me 12 volts. The red wire is resting at 12 volts. Alright, the red wire is resting at 10 point It's fluctuating between 9 and 10 volts. Alright, right now I see no change in voltage when I'm pressing the lever. So what I'm gonna do real quickly is just double check that the switch is connected. Okay, let this be a lesson to you. Whenever you're working on anybody's bike, just be sure that the components work before you start cutting into it. Right now, taillight is working, the brake light isn't working, so I will just say right now that the taillight is the yellow, the ground is the black, the red is supposed to be the brake light, but the brake light's not working right now. The SUPERNOVA TL3 only needs power and ground. That's the beauty of this design. All you need is power and ground. It turns on and it senses the movement. So if you stop, it senses that you're stopping and it flashes and then comes on. But I am concerned with the wires. Okay, so this is the brake switch. As you can see, one side is not connected. They are a set of female spades that more than likely have opened up. So I want to see if I can crimp down on it just to make a better connection. But just keep in mind, if that red wire isn't working, it might just be because of this. So I will press down on the brake lever now. And the brake light is not working. So all this time I've been riding around without a brake light. Didn't even know it. Okay, so right now I will just start preparing my wires. This is how the light will sit. This is long enough, so I will clip this here, cut back the insulation. Alright, after I break back that insulation, I'm going to expose my wire. Get myself some heat shrink, trim it down to size. Now let me see if I can get this a little closer. This is how I solder. Everybody's soldering method might be different, but this is how I do it. I get the two wires together, something like this. Try and keep the heat shrink as far from the wire so that it doesn't get hot and close up on you. The wire will get hot. And what I do is I take the soldering iron, I hold it against the wire so it warms it up a little bit, and then I apply the solder. Always make sure your tip is nice and clean. And remember what I said about that heat shrink? It did close up on me, but I managed to play with it so that it opened up. Got one side on, and I'm just working on the other side. Now this wire over here I'm not going to use, so I'm going to cap that off. I'll show you how to do that. Alright, so now I'll just heat up that heat shrink. And then I'm gonna find some electrical tape. I'm gonna add some electrical tape in there as well. All right, so we are almost ready to wrap this up. Just want to put a little bit of tape here. All of this I'm gonna tuck inside this pipe. I also have to remove the turn signals for now. The bike is off, so it is okay to do what I just did. Ordinarily, I would never clip a positive and a negative together. I also want to insulate the ends of this wire. Try and cut this open. Okay, so here you'll find the positive and negative of my turn signals. All I want to do is to isolate the two of them because they're just going to get tucked inside there. Alright, once those are insulated, I can just tuck them inside here and pull them out when we're ready to install the turn signals. And all of this is going to get tucked inside this pipe. So once the wires are nicely tucked inside, I can continue to install the SUPERNOVA. So I will be using a nut and bolt to hold the bracket in place. Alright, so just like that, the SUPERNOVA TL3 PRO is installed. Now let's just test it. She is bright as hell. And I'm good to go. Let's get the seat installed, and then there's just one thing left to do. Take it out for a ride.
Alright, so there you have it. Unfortunately, it's daylight. I don't know if the video quality will be the best in the world. I'm hoping right now what I have will suffice. As you saw inside the garage, it was pretty bright, and it does a good job of flashing quickly and grabbing the attention of the person that's behind you. These SUPERNOVAs, they're available at Powerful Lithium. If you guys want to pick one up, you can reach out to the boys. You can DM them on Instagram. Go on to powerfullithiumusa.com. Send them an email. Check on the coming soon tab on their website, just in case it's not available at the time that this video gets released. Alright, so there you have it. I'm super happy. I love it. It's bright as hell. Very easy to install. It looks great. It's small in size, but it packs a punch. So there you have it. I'll leave you guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate. Smash that like button. Leave a comment. I get back to everybody. And if you want to, please subscribe. So until the next video, peace out, everybody. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Alright, so we are out here. We are doing this again. We are charging.